It's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
In motion right, one of the tight ends. They'll start on the ground, Hall, and he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Hall again on second down. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Nix from the shotgun. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on their perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Nix. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. To throw, here's Nix. That is caught by Vele. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Now it's Nix. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. 35 yards. And the Broncos will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Hall ought to give up the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now they'll bring 4 receivers into the fold here. It's 3rd and long. Rodgers going to throw. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Working out of the gun is Nix. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
That's taken in by Franklin. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Nix to the air. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Now Riley Dixon on. He did his collegiate kicking upstate at Syracuse. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. New York set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. To throw, it's Rodgers.
That's complete. It's Malachi Corley.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run with Hall.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll have a Jets first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. Now they'll throw with Rodgers.
To the sideline and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. Give to Hall running right.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now it's Rodgers. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
They're going to line up to go for this on 4th down. Rodgers stays on the field. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Broncos will take over on downs. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
They'll go play action with Nix. This one swung out to Williams.
all defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 9.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. The former 3rd overall pick, Solomon Thomas, with a high motor that time, and the tackle for loss.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Throwing Nix.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Operating from the gun, Nix. And the pressure gets to him again. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Rodgers.
This completes a Corley.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 27 yards there, a first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 37-yard line.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Throwing is Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Caught. It's Wilson.
And he is going to have a Jets first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone, and they hit him for the completion for the first down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flush to his right. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
They'll give to Hall.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it 2nd down and 11.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall.
Oh, he shifts past him. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall.
A 15-yard touchdown run.
And the Jets are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Denver's offense ready to go again. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 11.
A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down. Nix
working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3.
Again, it's Williams.
And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
This is how offensive coordinators earn their money. He thought he was ahead of the curve after 1st down.
Got 7 yards 1st down play, but then you get stuffed there on 2nd down, maybe just a yard out of it. Now your advantage is evaporated. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Nix from the shotgun.
And this is incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2.
To throw is Nix.
And that is incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series.
And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield and get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls, or setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
A handoff for Hall.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6. Here's Hall again. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 74 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Running left, it's Hall.
Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now Rodgers. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 18. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Bottom line is that he is just something else as a runner because there are not many QBs in this league who can rip off a game that big, and he did it with the defense giving him a little extra attention after he hit him on a run earlier this series.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Hall.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
2nd down and 4.
Rodgers now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
Here is 3rd and 5.
To throw is Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will knot us up at 10. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Broncos are about set to go on offense.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
On play action, here's Nix.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
2nd and 10.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Broncos first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a give up the middle to Williams.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 59 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Here's Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Now it's Nix.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
The Jets offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Paul on a give up the middle.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Rodgers.
They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The drive will start with an option going left. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
To throw, here's Nix. Open man is the tight end Troutman.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 75 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
11 more on that one and another 1st down. All tied up at 10. 2 minutes left in the 1st half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Nix to the air. Screen play set up for Williams.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the 1st half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
He'll get this to his tight end Troutman.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Second down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5.
Looking to throw. Nix under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away. And the Jets defense making things difficult there. Fourth down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a fourth down.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
Now it's Rodgers.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And again, it's Rodgers.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
And his throw is incomplete. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake. Nix. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Throwing Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
This 2nd and 4.
Back to throw.
Nix finding Williams on the check down.
So no gain on the play, and now it's 3rd and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the Jets D, they call on a couple extra defensive backs on 3rd. Off the draw, here's Williams. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Hall again.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. 1st down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Throwing is Rodgers.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a 1st down.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Off the play fake, here's Nix.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down, They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on for the 5th time here today.
The Jets offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
They'll go again with Hall.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front, lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on 1st down.
They'll give to Hall.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 4. They'll run. It's Hall.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Adams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
He dumps this one off here to Hall.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing now is Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Alex Singleton making the play defensively.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Jets have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Zerline good with a PAT, and that will make this a 4-point game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it was capped off by a touchdown pass to Breece Hall.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
They begin the drive with Williams.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw is Nix.
Looking sideline, incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's going to have a Broncos first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
There was Will McDonald bursting in there and making that play.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And down to the 36-yard line here.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that is no good. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I'll bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I've got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And some room to work. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that will bring up 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4.
Here's Nix. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now it's Nix.
Touchdown! A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Broncos have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10
at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught. It's Wilson.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 4. Give to Hall running right.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a play fake. Rodgers.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Broncos offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
The linebacker C.J. Mosley in on the stop.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
2 yards still to go. Third down now.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's got some space here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That good for 19 and a first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Working out of the gun is Nix. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
To throw, here's Nix.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned.
Nix to the air.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams.
And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 26.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And he will have a Broncos first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
On play action, here's Nix. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix.
Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to swell the lead to 6.
The kick by Lutz is good.
And that will double their lead as it's up to 6.
So that gets him a little bit of breathing room, but not much. And you have to think back to the field goal that he missed earlier. This would be a 2-score game right now if he had converted then.
And if you and I are thinking about it, you know he is as well, because in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I hope I get one more shot in an important spot. He just made that one. He wants one more later to truly make up for the earlier miss.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The home team's offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
A handoff for Hall. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Here's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Here's Thomas Morstead now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line.
Denver Broncos back out there. Former Tar Heel Javonte Williams, we shine the spotlight on him.
He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you, someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it.
Screen play set up for Williams.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
2nd and 4.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanketed his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
Now a give up the middle to Williams.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Looking to throw.
Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And he will have a Broncos first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The end result, 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Back to throw. Nix. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Nix once more.
And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
This is caught. Touchdown, Broncos.
Marvin Mims
From 4 yards out.
And the Broncos get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead, and that's what he did.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. They'll look to run for it with Williams. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And a completion to Wilson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
15 more yards there, and quickly another 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now they go screen. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
To throw is Rodgers.
Going right back to Wilson.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple.
A give running right is Hall.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
It's a 10-yard gain there to set them up 1st and goal. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. Rodgers again now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jets have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The visitors' offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open, but you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Again, it's Williams. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 7. 1:47 on the clock. They'll have to go 90-plus yards, and a field goal does them no good as they've got it with a 1st down.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Gosh, given the time and the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
2nd and 6 coming up. To throw is Rodgers. That's caught by Wilson and able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. This completes a Corley. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. Rodgers to throw. So the road a little tougher here. Now 1st and 20. Now Rodgers. Pass complete. It's Adams. And he will get to the sideline here, but that a minimal gain at best. 3 yards, possibly 4.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Here comes 2nd down. Back to throw. And check down, complete to Hall. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from MetLife Stadium.